when I was 15, that's when I decided to just switch mostly to baseball because I wanted to become a major league player. And the fun part before 15 and before I continue with something else is when I was 12 years old, there are some tourists, they always show up, like where San Juan del Sur is, because I grew up in Rivas, Nicaragua, and San Juan del Sur is the most known place to go was vacation. And a group of just visitors just start giving a deck of cards, and all of a sudden I like just went inside to put my hand in, like, hey, just pick one, just grab it, and that's gonna be your deck of card. And I got Seattle Mariners as my first deck of card, where Torrealba was there, Felix was there, Betancourt was there, stuff like all the old time Seattle Mariners. And before I even went back to talk with my mom, I talked to my mom and be like, Mom, one day I'm gonna have one of these.
Hmm.
And that was at 12. I was just having fun on baseball, but I told my mom, like, hey, when I grow up, I'm gonna have one like this.
Ground ball to Taylor. Nice hop, flips to Cano. Grover for the double play. Nobody makes it look easier than Robinson Cano. It's unbelievable. I mean, 2-2. Cano, nice flip. Taylor made double play. Thank you very much. That's a big strikeout. 2 down. And he strikes him out on 3 pitches. Nice work by Ramirez. 2 quick outs.
What's up, guys? This is Cash Shake, Chairman, CEO, and co-founder of Baseball United, the first professional baseball league in the history of the Middle East and South Asia. And you're watching the Legends on Deck podcast with my boys, Brian Koss and David Condi.
Welcome to episode 102 of the Legends on Deck podcast. I'm Brian Koss, along with my co-host, David Condi. And today's guest is a 14-year Major League Baseball veteran, a pitcher who has been with the Mariners, the Rays, the Red Sox, the Mets, the Tigers, the Nationals, and the Twins, living the true life of a pitcher in Major League Baseball. Erasmo Ramírez, we had his wife on as a previous guest, and we're very happy to have him today. Erasmo, welcome to the show.
No, thank you for having me, and just excited to just continue my journey and see how far I can go, barely.
Well, that's awesome. So we love to hear what's going on with you now, but we want to go back, way back in time. Okay. We want to go back to where you first started. You're from Nicaragua. You were born there. That's your home country. Give us an idea. What was your journey like from Nicaragua all the way to the United States in baseball?
Well, back to Nicaragua, it was just different. Just on the fact that, of course, my family just give me the most they can give me, and no, we didn't have like the big money wise stuff to back me up, but I had a mother, a family. They always support me in every sport, and the only rule for me to play was do good at school. You can play whatever you want. So I try every sport barely, but at the same time, I had to. As soon as I start growing, I had to adjust to okay, basketball. Now those guys are way too tall. Football or soccer, they don't play football, soccer. Now this guy want to kill my ankles, always hit me in the ankles. Then I go tennis, now to board. Nobody win, nothing in this. Then volleyball, and I know you need to be tall too, and I know. I started like practicing everything, and at the end, I was doing track and field, doing some javelin, and I found myself like a little break in there because it was fun. It was kind of like related to baseball, what you can throw, and I stick with it maybe for 2 years. And when I turned like 15, I still was playing baseball all the time, but academies disappeared from Nicaragua all of a sudden. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. Maybe economy. And when I was 15, that's when everything started like getting a little more serious because I needed to figure out what I want. And I wasn't bad. Just always was in the like top 10 and the whole country and stuff. So I needed to figure out what I want to do. And when I was 15, that's when I decided to just switch mostly to baseball because I wanted to become a major league player. And the fun part before 15 and before I continue with something else is when I was 12 years old, there are some tourists, they always show up like where San Juan del Sur is because I grew up in Rivas, Nicaragua, and San Juan del Sur is the most known place to go was vacation. And a group of just visitors just start giving a deck of cards. And all of a sudden, I like just went inside to put my hand in, like, hey, just pick one, just grab it, and that's gonna be your deck of cards. And I got Seattle Mariners as my first deck of card, where Torrealba was there, Felix was there, Betancourt was there, stuff like all the old time Seattle Mariners. And before I even went back to talk with my mom, I talked to my mom and be like, Mom, one day I'm gonna have one of these.
Hmm.
And that was at 12. I was just having fun on baseball, but I told my mom like, hey, when I grow up, I'm gonna have one like this. That was at 12. I didn't know I'm gonna become a professional player after 17, but at 15, that's when everything changed because I know there is no more academies, and I just playing for fun. And the only sport I was really into was track and field. And when thanks God there is a guy that always show up in Rivas was he lived in Chicago, but he's Puerto Rican.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Moises Santiago. He always show up to where I live, and they give the kids some gloves and some gloves, some equipment that he just collected when he was in USA. He go there and give it to guys like me that didn't have like cleats or gloves to throw. Even my mom bought me some, but the cheap ones that eventually just I had a couple patches already. But she always just did her best. And when Mr. Moses Santiago showed up, that was my first time I used a glove. They was like solid, you can notice. And the same with cleats. And he's the one that after my mom started like talking with him, almost bugging him, like, hey, my kid want to uh, get better, become somebody better, and can you help him because he's come from Puerto Rico, USA, live in USA. He got experience on baseball, and maybe give me some tips on how I can pitch or can he run and everything. But he was just busy, like he just come from month to month, and it was something that he didn't want to really spend the day just teaching one kid. He wanted to be around a lot of kids and help. Till one day he just was watching the game that he sponsored one of the teams he sponsored and was there. My sister was on first, and I'm gonna go back to my sister after I tell you my story super quick. um, yeah, he was in the game and he was watching the game, and all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, who's this kid on third? Holy my God, he has a strong arm!" And then who's this lady on third? By the way, she can play. And then that's when my mom just come back to him like, "Hey, that's my kid, and that's my daughter." And that's when he's like, "Okay, you know what? Uh, I'm gonna start helping him more because he's getting older, and we need to figure out what we can do for him." And that's when he start talking around and see like, hey, what academy is available, where I can go. And Mr. He talked with Rene Gallo. He was the scout for Pittsburgh at that time, and he talked to through him after he speak with one of his cousins or somebody. that connection went just all around. And they got the connection with the academy in El Salvador, the country next door, FESA. The name completely is Fundación Educando un Salvadoreño.
Mm.
And he talked with them, and they did a tryout in Nicaragua. And funny part, I was just arriving from a tournament from track and field, and they found me in that when I was barely just arriving. They're like, hey, they're looking for you to make a tryout, and can you come back tomorrow to the capital, because I live like 2 hours and a half from the capital. And after they told me that, and my mom said yes, because it's a big opportunity. So we arrived from the tournament. They told us about the tryout happening the next day. So we went back home after we arrived, and then the next day take another bus back to the capital. That way I can do the tryout, and things got everything just went good. Like I was just almost 15 years old, and the academy was looking for pitchers. No hitters though. They did see me hitting, they see me running, and when they see me pitching, they like, well, you throw hard. We're not looking for hitters. We have way too many hitters, and we need pitchers. We need more arms. So if you're interested and forget about how to hit, you are welcome to come to the academy. And that's when I said, okay, you know what? Opportunity as opportunity. So let's do it. Let's become a pitcher. And that's when at 15 years old, I forget about hitting. And thanks to Mr. Jose Santiago, I got my first opportunity as a academy and somebody to come and teach me how to play baseball. And back to my sister, she was way better than me. It's crazy, bro. Like it's crazy because everybody they see her and me, and they're like, "Well, how you were no man?" By the way, it's crazy because she played hard. She threw harder than me. When I was 12, I was like 75, 74s, and she's just hitting 77s, easy. And I'm like, oh my god, like she's 1 year older than me, but still, like I can hit like 10 homers. She hit like 20. And then I played like sliding the bases without being afraid to injure the other guy. I was really I was really bad at that. And then for her, nah, she's just ruthless. She just go all the way to kill the guy. She didn't care. Yeah.
What is she doing? Did she ever get into maybe like baseball there or softball or anything? Did she ever play anything?
Um this is the crazy part. The we She was with me, but when I moved to El Salvador, she decided to move to play softball with my mom.
Mm.
Yeah. So I just got the little notification on this tablet. Yeah, like she was playing with me while I was in Nicaragua.
Mm.
When I was in Nicaragua, she like, hey, I play with you. So I'm barely 7 years old. And when she started getting older and older, and then I moved out of the country at 15 though. When when the opportunity happened in El Salvador, that means I had to leave my house at 15 and go by myself to the next country if I want to get into the academy. So that's when she's like, nah, he's not here. So why am I gonna be in baseball still? So she switched to softball just to start crushing everybody in there, because softball they play a little not too hard like baseball, and she used to use whoever is in the middle, just run them over. And that's what she did the first couple times, because all the ladies tried to tag her, and she played the all baseball. It's like, okay, get off my way. The idea is to tackle them and get the ball off their glove, right? So she played like that. Just run hard as you can and go through them.
So when you left your country, and this, and what people don't realize in the United States, I was born in the United States. My grandparents are Puerto Rican. My wife is Colombian. She was born in Colombia. And I've met, so I understand the dynamics of coming from another country and coming to the United States and, adjusting to life here. You weren't even in the United States yet. You went from Nicaragua to El Salvador. What was
Yep.
that adjustment like going from there? I mean, you're within Central South America, but what was that adjustment of going to another country? Like you said, being by yourself now at a young age, and how was your focus? Was it on baseball? Was it on your family? Like, how was that adjustment?
It was everything because soon as I know like academy was about like baseball and how to become better, and they like soon as we say yes, they explain us what's gonna happen. It was like, bro, just give me everything you had till you 18, because after 18 you just old, and when you're Latin
Mm-hmm.
and you want to sign, you had to sign between 16 and 18. After 18, you better have like a rocket in the arm, because beside that, they just don't sign you. You're too old at 18 to sign. So for when I signed with them, they're like, hey, just give us everything you had to you 18, and we're gonna do our best to help you. And after you finish your high school, you can pick any career and start doing baseball in your career. And if you don't sign, at least you're gonna be one way or the other a professional baseball, or you're gonna be a professional with your career. And if you don't find a job, you can start working in one of my offices, and that's when that's Mr. Jorge Bahaya, which he was the fund the one to start the whole foundation. He's the one that told me that. He's like, hey, you don't find a job right away. You just work on one of my offices while you just finding a job, and after that, when you find a job, you can go. And I don't know, that was kind of like a sweet deal. I just needed to do what I love the most, and is train hard and do my best, and just wait for the opportunity. And the only condition was that barely just give it everything I had. And the adjustment was a little rough, because this time I didn't have my family to back me up, and Monday to Friday I had to be in in the complex, and from the weekends, Friday to Sunday, our family had to pick me up and be the one in charge of me. A family that you don't know, they just find a family and they send you there barely. So it wasn't crazy till I had to finish my last high school year, though, because I had to start learning their culture, their biography, their everything. That way I can pass the class. If not, I just
Wow.
fail. I'm new here, but I had to pass my class if I want to really graduate. And I start like barely studying the best I can, and that way I can pass the class and be able to stay. Because one of the biggest rule of the foundation is we give you the full ride, but you gotta keep your scores high, and you gotta execute when you playing too. So you lower one of those, we might just have to find somebody else, because the idea is to help whoever is working to be the best, and not whoever feel like, oh, I get in, I'm gonna get comfortable. They wanted to just keep pushing you to the limits, always the good limits, not the bad limits. Just be sure you can give us the best of you. So that was something that helped me too, to realize how crazy it is when you focus on something. Like, it doesn't become easier, but it becomes reachable.
Yeah.
So that was a little tough to make that, and especially because it was one of my important years where I need to finish my high school. That way I can start my career.
Yeah.
So I needed to learn about El Salvador no matter what. Yeah, and that was beside. And then another funny part, the family, they had to watch me for a weekend. He was in a tournament in 2002. I was 12 years old. He was in charge of El Salvador team, and my sister barely just threw a no-hitter in that tournament. I was a third baseman, barely pitch. I just didn't want to pitch. I just pitch for fun, and when we run out of pitcher, just I go to pitch. And he's the one that told my mom about, hey, you should send your kid to El Salvador. There is a nice academy. He's 12, he's young, but he's getting closer to those ages that he need to know what to do with his life, and he got talent. And the academy we had is good. You should send him there. And my mom, of course, is like, no, he's too young to be by himself in another country. He need to study, and then we don't know if it's true. So at the end, I remember him, and he was the one that picked me up on Friday to be my family. So it was kind of at least one familiar face when I saw him. He's the one that teach me, taught me how to be like independent. Because first he needed to drop me off, drop me off at here, drop me off there, take me to eat, and all of a sudden he's like, you know what, you will grow, and you will need to learn how to get to places by yourself and get stuff by yourself, cook some stuff. And my mom helped me about the cooking, and then for him was you need to learn how to get to places without needing somebody else to help you. And after maybe like a couple months, he just gave me like a couple quarters because the transportation is like a quarter the cost to do the ride.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like took me to the main station, and he's like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. It costs a quarter. You take the bus over here, and when you see they're getting closer to the stadium, you tell them, hey, yes, I'm the Bengoa, whatever, like whatever place is your stop. Just tell them with time, that way they can stop, and then from there you just walk to the stadium, and I pick you up after the practice. And I started doing that barely. I started like just getting to the station. That was my first trip like by myself, just going there and a random country and just taking the bus to the stadium after he's supposed to drop me off. But his name's Helman Villalta with the H. The Helman Villalta. And he just barely taught me how to barely start being independent, don't depend on people. And if I want to do something like off day, he's like, hey, you want to go somewhere, just take the keys of the house, be sure you lock, and just don't get lost. If you take one bus, remember the same bus come the same way back. So just wait for it in the opposite side of the street. So I start like being brave, and all of a sudden it just went like for 30 minutes in one bus, and all of a sudden, you know what? I kind of don't know where I am right now. Let me get off. Yeah.
So
It was different.
you had he was your guardian angel because he met you when you were younger, and he ended up being the guy that was going to help you along the way. Because like I said, I've heard so many stories of guys leaving their country, going to an academy, going to coming to the United States, and it's not easy, and it's a hard journey. But if you have the right person to guide you, and you're strong enough to have a will, willpower to stick with it, most guys become successful. And
Yep.
you had the right person, right there to help you.
No, no,
So
it's
yeah,
just sorry to cut you. It's just
no,
crazy
no,
that it's just crazy because before the reason I left my country too was because everybody kept telling me I'm so small. You say too little, you throw hard, but too little. Come back when you're 17 and you already grow. Like what? I don't even know if I'm gonna grow more.
hmm
How am I gonna know I'm gonna grow to 17 and come back over here with the same arm or stronger arm? What about just give me the chance? I don't know, like show you that I can do something with my arm or hitting, and soon as I grow up, maybe we find a team. But that was one of the big concern always. They always told me, like, you're too little, but you throw hard. That's the only stuff that you had. And in the academy, I was frustrated first with Nicaragua. And when I got to the academy, the first stuff the owner said was that they're like, okay, you're little, but just give us everything you had. That's it. We're gonna find you. We're gonna make the most tryouts ever. Train you, and just be sure to forget about you little, even you are. Just give us your heart. That's it.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah.
So when from the academy, when did it happen that you got signed? Because you got signed by the Seattle Mariners. which ironically was the team that you told your mother about that you were going
Yeah.
to be a
I
part
was
of.
just thinking that.
So
I know. You just
when did that happen? Like, how did that happen?
well, that's the thing. Like they did tryouts. Soon as you get there, they do tryouts, and his speed was climbing up. After I hit like 84s, 85, when before I signed with them, I was in 90s at 16,
Wow.
and that's when they're like, you know what? Let's start moving around, like showing you, go showcases, do combos as hey, they want to see the older one. Let's just sneak Ramirez in there. That way they can start seeing him. Then when I was 17 in a tournament, I was in a tournament, and Bud Ingle was the one that they saw me pitching because one of the rules the owner said is like, hey, see him pitching on game, don't see him as a bullpen because bullpens he never throw hard as he's supposed to, but in games you can see the whole speed of what he can throw, and that's when it happened 2007 at the start. I was in a tournament, and Sierra Miners saw me, and first they didn't offer, and I got the call from Mr. Jorge Bajay about, hey, there is a team that is interested, but this one was Philadelphia Philly, and he's like, hey, they're offering money, but if you were 16, which you just turned 17. I'm like, no way. So what are you telling me here? I'm like, no. He's like, yeah, I'm telling you because that means somebody already looking at you. So that's good. Like somebody already called for you. And that was like, okay, nah, come on. I'm not 16 no more. I'm 17. So I need a team. No, or just throw harder. I don't know. But a month after, when it was I don't know, I was just home, and all of a sudden he called me and be like, hey, we have a team. They don't care about your age. They just want you in the team, and they already offered. And I'm like, don't even scare them away asking for more. Just tell them, yes, I want the opportunity. They give me the opportunity, so let's sign with them. And that was the Seattle Mariners through Bud Ingo, the scout in that year. I think that Bud Ingo was the same one to San Felix. Maybe I don't know. I'm kind of, but I know that he was signing a lot of people that nobody knew that he's gonna become somebody, and all of a sudden we still there, we still there pitching. But yeah, it was funny. Like as soon as that's happened, he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna just get you at least the money for your transportation back to your home." And 2007 in September, that's when I signed with Seattle Mariners. I was 17. I didn't play though that year, 2007, because of everything's done in September. So I had to wait for 2008 for being my first pro year, and that's when the Seattle sent me to Venezuela. It used to be Venezuela Summer League, Dominican Summer League, and 7+ team in USA, which is like a long road to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most of the time you have to spend like a day in each one. So for me, it was like 19 because most of the time they did the Venezuela Summer League, and when you do good, they send you to Dominican Summer League. It's like it's the same, but come on. And then you go to USA after you earn your visa. And for me, was assigned 2007, but debut 2008, and I spent 2 years in Venezuela. It wasn't bad. Like ERA was like 280 and 63 innings, a walk, but they always give up like 3 visas or 4 after you finish the season. Whoever did good, they give you the visa and you start playing in USA, and that way you can really upgrade yourself about leagues. But the first year after that, my number were not that bad, and the excuse was that I needed to throw more strikes, and that's the reason they didn't give me a visa the first year, because I needed to throw strikes after I did 63 innings, 8 walks. They needed me to throw strikes.
Yeah, you weren't throwing enough strikes. You walked too many guys. That was the problem. You should have
I
not walked
know.
anybody, then it would have been different.
Exactly.
That's right.
Like, because numbers were good. It's like 257 or 260, 63 innings, 8 walks. And like, they're like, you know what, we need to find something, because they wanted to send somebody else instead of me. So they need to find some excuse. And that's when they say you need to throw more strikes. And like, okay, I need to walk less, throw more strike. Okay, I got it. Next year, it was my dream in year barely. I got the triple crown in there because I went the short season. I threw 88 innings, 5 walks, 2 intentionals, and like 81 strikeouts. Won 11, lost one, and the one that lost, I was proud of it because I lost. I threw 8 innings, one unearned run, and we lost 1-0.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part is at the end of the year, I was like, well, there's no way I'm not going. Then they had to give me the visa. Yeah, and even some of my teammates are like, bro, they don't give you, and they don't give you that. Like, we just gonna ask for the release.
So when you went to after that year, then you did get your visa. You came to the United States. Just real
Yep.
quickly, like what was that adjustment now? Kind of now you're coming to a whole different continent. You're in a different country. The culture is different. I don't know if I know that now they teach the Latin ball players English in DR before they come to have English classes. Like how was that for you? The adjustment and
It's
speaking English.
no, yeah, it was the same. It was when I was in the Venezuelan Academy, they had the popular the Rosetta Stone. That was the
Oh
one
yeah.
that we did every year, every day. Every day you had to spend an hour in there just repeating what the machine said. And so that was the whole English I knew. Well, maybe no, because when I graduate, before I signed, they asked me if I wanted to start my career. And I told them, like, you know what, I'm still young. And if we're planning on signing, can I get an English course? That way, if I sign, I got some English at least ideas. And that's why I started doing English for a couple months because then I signed. And well, when I got here, definitely the English was a barrier. I didn't know how to say it. I I remember what the computer said, but my mind didn't want to process it to my mouth. So it was just a little complicated, but it's still like we had the classes every week with the teacher. And when I start talking with her, she's like, you know how you can get better by forget about talking too much with your friends
Hmm.
from any Latin country. Just go to the Americans. They
Hmm.
the one they're gonna teach you. No, if you already know Spanish, so why you gonna be speaking Spanish everywhere? You already know that. What about
Exactly.
go and try? They will help you, and of course they help me to learn a lot of bad words. That's it. That's the first. That's the first learn. Lot of bad words. I didn't know in that part. In that moment,
That's
I'm
what
like,
everybody wants to know. Yeah.
yeah. It's like for us too. Like when we see somebody learning Spanish, it's like, hey, tell them this. That's a good one. That's a good one. And
Yeah.
that's the same. The same. And it's at least it's both sides. They try to teach you bad words. We teach them bad words, and then I start like getting more like confidence and just going around and ask and start like creating a little conversations, trying to understand it. And my first year, barely 2010, I got the first challenge already because Pedro Grifo, the one in charge of minor leagues, barely just told me like, "Hey, I know you got a triple count in Venezuela, but now you in USA it's a higher level. Don't I want to see if that triple count really was a thing, it was just luck."
Mm.
And that was my first challenge. Even I just arrived, but that time I stayed in extended sprint, which means I don't go with any team. I just have to stay and wait for short season in USA or rookie league.
Hmm.
I stayed there for 15 days, so around May 15, in May I had to stay. And then all of a sudden, one of the guys got injured in Lowey. In
Mm.
that case, they were in Clinton Lurbekin in Iowa, and they did early. My agent told me like, "Hey, they're gonna send you to Iowa, Class A, Low A."
Hmm.
That was my first experience at some professional baseball here. When they told me, I was just barely on bed. They called me and be like, "Hey, you're going to Low A. You're gonna move from. You're gonna skip Rocky." So I didn't play rookie ball. They sent me straight to low A.
Mm-hmm.
I packed everything. I went to the office. They give me a paper and $20. Barely. They're like, okay,
Wow.
this is the plane ticket. When you get out the plane ticket, you gotta take this bus, get off in so and so place, and the team bus gonna be waiting for you and take you to the stadium. I'm like, I just arrived here. I cannot even speak nothing. And you just give me a paper and $20 to get there. Barely.
Oh my
No phone.
God.
I didn't have a phone. And that's how my first USA experience happened. As an independent guy, I took the quarter. Now I'm in another country doing almost the same, but I don't even know how to speak.
Oh my God.
I got the first two steps right. Then when I got to the place where they're supposed to be a boss, they were not boss. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm stuck. And I got my bags and my game, my bag luggage, the team bag, and no boss. I'm like, okay, what's going on right here? I don't know what to do. And then luckily, thank God, the lady that was working on the behind the desk, I don't know how she didn't feel like gonna rob her or something, but I asked her for the favor to call the number, and she did. Called the boss, and the boss said, they're like, hey, I'm running late. I'm gonna be there. I'm on my way. I'm like, wow, yeah, good day to pick to be late, huh? Yeah, but eventually he showed up, and the game barely just started. The game was already going in the first inning when I arrived to the stadium, and I didn't unpack nothing. They just barely asked me, hey, what number do you want on jersey? And change, stretch, you in the bullpen. You have to be ready to pitch right now.
Wow.
Barely. So I did. I just changed, got my number 50, and went straight to the mound. Barely, no. Just go start stretching, and all of a sudden I asked the catcher, hey, can we start playing catch or something? I need to throw. And then the game start getting in trouble. And all of a sudden I see the pitching coach saying the sign, and like, hey, just continue throwing because you're going in. And just that's how I debuted in USA. Just get my trip, get lost, get the bus, get my uniform, go to the bullpen, start warming up, go to the game, and that was my first 2 innings professional in USA, barely.
Well, it looks like this was what, maybe 2008, 2009?
2010.
2010.
2010. Okay.
Yeah, I got
Yeah, I
2008
see.
and
Okay. So I'm
yeah.
looking through your minor league debut here. So this was in the Midwest League in
Clinton League
the Lumberjack or the Lumber Kings in Iowa. Yeah. So you go, but correct me if I'm wrong, but you made your debut in Major League Baseball the following season, right? In 2012?
2012. I got 2010 in low
Yeah.
A, then 2011.
And you 11, you went through
Double A, triple A.
Double A and Triple A. Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
by that time, remember, they used to be the minor league all stars.
You're right.
So mid season, when you do the all star, they get you like the chance to go to the next level. So when I was in the Midwest League with the Clinton, I did the all star game, barely even actual late. And then when I went to Double A, I made the all star game too. And they like, you know what? You deserve to go to Triple A, and they give me a month in Triple A. And because they, I don't know, they wanted to see more from me. They sent me to Winter League, Venezuela, 2011.
Yeah.
And it was good. Like that, that's a lot of competition. There's a lot of big leaguers that play in the Winter League.
Mhm.
And 2012, they give me the invitation. No roster, just invitee. Just go there and show us what you got, and let's see. The opening series was in Japan against Oakland.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
It's
so
quite a spot to open up your game.
yeah. But the crazy part was when I was in the spring training, everything was good. I was just a guy that I didn't care who's in home play. I didn't recognize who's hitting. I just didn't care. I was using 91, 95. I don't care. Hit I go. No throwing ball. Just hit it. I don't care. Who are you? I don't care. And all of a sudden, they're like, hey, we have to go to Japan, and we're gonna take 2 invitees, and they took me as an invitee, still not in the team. I was just part of the extra guys, reserve. That way, the guys they're supposed to be in the opening roster are fresh. And they called me to the office before the series start with Oakland when they had to give the roster. They're like, hey, Ramirez, you have to come to the office. You need to sign your papers. I'm like, oh shit. Like, sorry. I'm like, no way. Like, no, I already signed my minor league papers. They made me sign, I know where I'm going. I know how much I'm gonna make. Don't worry, I already signed it. Like, nah, no, those papers. You gotta sign your minor league papers. You made it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So what makes me wonder is that, and we've talked to a few people about this, but you go from Nicaragua into the academy, and then you go up the ranks of minor league baseball pretty quick. What's the prior to making your big league debut? What size crowds did you pitch in front of? Like, was it very overwhelming to walk out there on the mound with a packed stadium with 30, 40,000 people in it? Was that like a very eye-opening moment for you?
Well, every minor league stadium didn't have that many guys.
Yeah.
So I didn't experience the big crowds till I got my first MLB debut.
Right.
And that was barely in Texas in a day game. And I had to, in the old Texas Stadium, that was the longest jog ever. And when I was jogging, it was just like seeing a video game, barely. I don't know how I didn't trip, because I just keep looking
Right.
to the side, looking up, like, oh my God, I said, all the people the way there, and just me in the middle right there. That was crazy.
oh my God.
It was like a lot of emotions going on.
Yeah, I'll bet. I'll bet. Yeah, I mean, it's a big, and being the pitcher, coming into that situation on the mound, you've got. You came out of the bullpen in that game?
Yep. I had to
Yeah.
wait 9 days in the bullpen.
So you're coming out of the bullpen and you're running around this huge crowd, and then everybody's watching you, right?
Yep.
So you're not just blending in on the field,
Nope.
kind of looking around like everybody's looking at you.
Yeah, everybody know, because they always put like that doing his MLB his MLB debut, Erasmo Ramírez. Like, oh shoot. Now you know the veterans are like, okay, let's welcome this rookie.
Was that a memorable, other than obviously being memorable for being your first, but was there, uh, you feel good about the success of that first outing on the mound, or did you do something that you wish you would have done differently, or what was the memory for you?
Maybe don't be too much in execution against my first home run, because Josh Hamilton was the welcome to the big league rookies.
Yeah, maybe that's a good thing, right? Get it out of your system.
Oh yeah, well, the first pitch was the problem because I didn't know where to throw it. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to throw. I'm right here just sweating. I don't know if it's the warm up or just me, and I didn't know what to do. I just right there, just waiting for the sign. And after the first pitch happened and the first out happened, I'm like, you know what? It's done. The ball already, they already tossed the ball. I'm already here. Let's do this. Let's execute it. Extras, that's what you came here for. And I remember just executing a change outside to Josh Hamilton, one hand home run all the way to center field. And I'm like, no way. That's how they play here. Just one hand, execute pitch outside, not even a strike, just home run, depth center field. Like, no way. That's different. It sounds different.
Yeah,
Then
but you have to say one thing though. He had 43 home runs that year, so
yeah.
you weren't the only one that So it wasn't
Right.
like a guy that just came up and down. So
Yeah. No, that's the scene. That's the scene. Like, how I say, like, I didn't care who was on home plate. I just didn't know he was
Yeah.
one of with power. I just knew he was there, and he's one of the veterans. And my first strikeout was Nelson Cruz. They then become my teammates eventually.
Yeah.
I didn't ask him to sign the ball though. After that, I feel like the crazy part was when I execute the pitch and I give up the home run. Then the next time I saw him, I missed the ball right in the middle. Like, okay, just hit another one. No, hit a middle pop up. I'm like, okay, how crazy is this? I execute my pitch, home run, middle, pop up. This don't make sense. Why? This is supposed to be the opposite. Home run is you to execute the middle, home run, and be like execute how to be a ground ball or an out. But I start learning a little more about baseball after that. Start like going more through stats, watch what they're doing, not just go for my guts and be like, okay, I like my slider, I'm gonna throw it now. Just start watching more baseball, and especially because I was a starter during the whole minor league stuff. But when I debuted, I was a reliever, and so I have had to be a reliever for a month, and then they'll say, no, you know what, we're gonna make you a starter. They send me down to be a starter. So, and that's my first experience as a opening eye to you get injured easy. I didn't feel anything, and when I become a starter, my arm just overwhelmed barely because I got the rush to be starter super quick, and three starts after I got called up, it just my elbow didn't pop, but I got a cramp in my elbow, and that was my first ever injury. When I finally made it, and that's when I like, you know what? This couldn't be my last, which is crazy.
And you were
So
able
you're
go ahead.
you're going through your early days here in the league. So you get injured early on. But as I'm going through, you look like when you went to Tampa in 2015,
Yeah,
your wife spoke so well of being in Tampa, and I think that's when you met your wife because she was working for the team at the time.
yeah,
We heard that whole story. But in Tampa, you made pitched in 34 games in 2015. So you were starting, you were 11-6. So that's kind of when you were working at that point into a starting rotation spot.
yep. And one of the funny stories, the La Flecha, the closer, they used to be in Tampa, Fernando Rodney, and then
Oh
when
yeah.
when he signed with Seattle, I was in spring training, and he barely come to me and told me, Ramirez, you need to go to Tampa. They can fix you. Barely. That was his comment in spring training before the trade happened. You need to play in a team they're gonna fix you. And Tampa is one good team to fix arms of young players like you. They need to just get back to the line and find how you do the best pitching. And barely before the spring training end, 3 days before the league start, they trade me to Tampa. So they sent Montgomery to Seattle, and they sent me to Tampa, and that's when they start working with me. But my welcome to Tampa was bad. Like I give up like 7 runs in 2 innings the first time relieving. Then I give up 8 the second relief appearance I did with 3 innings. I didn't pack. I didn't unpack anything. I was like, oh shoot, I'm leaving. Like no way. I think this thing gonna just send me home. And that was my mind because like no way, 2 innings, no 5 innings, 15 runs already. So my ERA was to the sky. And then Ernesto Frieri, the ex-closer for the Angels, and then he was playing in the Tampa Bay Rays that year, trying to get back to his feet. And he started talking to me every day, every day. He's like, Ramirez, every day you grab a chair, and whatever I see, you sit next to me. And barely, that's what we did every day, every game, just sit with him, talk, watch the game, talk about the game, like, hey, what you see, how you can pitch, and talk about mentally stuff too. Like, just your numbers are not a definition of what you are right now. So eventually start pitching good. Like everything start like turning around. And one day they like, hey, we want you to start. I went 5 innings. That was my start against the Yankees, barely. I give up one hit in 5 innings. And they're like, hey, okay, thank you. You're going back to the bullpen. They're like, okay, nice. That was nice. Then continue pitching. And eventually they're like, hey, they're going to start again. And then I did good again. And they're like, you know what, just stay as a starter. And that's why I got like 23 stars, 14 reliefs. Because there were times that we run out of relievers, and instead of throw my bullpen, I just threw it in the game. Yes, I was a starter, but at the same time, I was throwing off the bullpen too. And I met Ray because she need to walk through the bullpen part. And that was Friere's problem too, because Friere was the one that talk with her and be like, hey, I need to tell you something important. But that was already deep in the season, something important. And she's like, what? I was right there. And he's like, my friend, like, I'm like, really, what? I'm the one that's supposed to go and say something. What about just let me say it? I'm like, I got you. I got you. And then after that, we like, I just start talking. And eventually we hung up. And now we're here. Years.
That's funny.
Years. Yeah, it's crazy.
I want to ask you one question quickly, going back to your debut. You went on this long journey. It's a different journey than what most of the American kids will experience. It's different. A kid is born in the United States. They play high school baseball. They can maybe play college baseball. They can recruit it. There's a different mindset than coming from another country. When you finally made it to the majors and you're standing, and you arrived to the stadium, did you call your family? Did you have that experience with your mom and your family? Were you able to call them?
Yep, from Japan somehow. Somehow they were away. They were away somehow and be like, yeah, I made it. And soon as I got my first car, I just give it to my mom. Yeah, my first MLB car, just give it to her. Just like I did it, I made it.
And your sister was probably telling you, I could have made it. It would have taken me. I was better than you, right?
Nah, she always was supportive.
Yeah,
Even she was better than me. That's for sure. I had no shame of saying that. She was way better than me. I was just somebody that wanted to play, but she just wanted to destroy the other team. Yeah, so she always just give up everything. Even studying, she always been the excellent, like always in the board. For me, I was happy to pass the class.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still I had to go to El Salvador, and then I was, it's time to get serious and get good numbers because I need that, and I wanted to prove myself that I can do it. So that's when I started studying a lot, and I finished my high school with good numbers in my first last year, and then I signed, and everything was better though after I changed my mind into just give up everything, just give everything that you had. And just I don't know, all this journey just taught me how fragile you are. Like everything just can be done in the open and close of the eyes. So I just had to be sure that I just live it now. I wish I had this mentality before, but at the same time, I needed to go through it to learn from it.
Yeah.
And that's the only way I can speak with true facts and not just say that if you do this, it might happen. No, it did happen to me. So if you go this way, I know what way you're going. So I've been there, done that, almost got me out of my career, stuff like that. Like I've been through some stuff that it just made me now just wondering why I did it. I don't know. I was just young with money, barely. Nobody to back me up beside my family. My family's not here though. They always just came to visit for a month and that's it. 1 out of 8 months I spent here. My family just 1 month with me. The rest was company, whoever was next to me, which most of the time they were not really helpers. But it's been fun journey, no lie. And now that I'm just thankful that I still pitching, my arm still there. I still throw 90, 94. I can bring more. But at the same time, it's like I'm not knowing for throwing hard. I'm knowing for get outs, get around the corners. And if I go for the speed, I can work for the speed, but at the same time, it's risky now.
Yeah.
I can just blow my arm right away, and that's gonna be worse. I throw 0 miles after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a pitcher, thinking about, jumping from starting into the bullpen, and then of course switching, every pitcher seems to deal with this, getting traded, switching into multiple teams, playing in different organizations. Um, First of all, the jumping from bullpen to starting is a different mentality, right? And you have to prepare yourself differently. And then the adjustment from, moving town to town based on where you get traded and how to adjust to a new team. You want to speak on a couple of those, on those two items for us?
Yeah. Well, being a starter is the easiest job about routine wise because nobody
Yeah.
can ruin that routine. You pitch, you do upper or lower, then you do upper lower the next day. Then the next day is connection. Then the next day just chilling, and then you pitch. So it's like a repeatable one.
Right.
But when you go to the bullpen, everything varies. There is no routine. You have to create one, but at the same time, it's hard to keep it. You have to adjust. Sometimes you just warm up so many times, but you didn't pitch. And they believe you're fresh, but you're not. You barely just warm up, ready to roll. I threw the same amount of pitches that guy threw of them in the game. I was throwing, but behind. I was in the mound throwing, which I need to hurry up, get ready, but no pitch, and that wear you out. So to be able to, after you experience the wear out feeling of, okay, I didn't pitch today, what I can do for tomorrow, be fresh, and don't say, hey, I'm tired, because they're gonna get mad at you because you didn't pitch, so they believe you're fresh. That's what they believe. They like, I hate the fact that they feel like they never pitched before. Like, bro, you were a pitcher, I'm tired. Like you put me to pitch even I didn't pitch.
Do you
So
think there's a greater risk in injury coming out of the bullpen just because of that? Because you're maybe throwing more throughout the week than a starter is?
yeah, there is more injuries, and the fact that you need to hurry up, and sometimes if you don't have your routine, you're gonna go cold. And if you notice, there is so many guys that throw hard, and sometimes they start throwing soft, and then start throwing hard. But that's when the arm is just so cold. But in that process of heating up the arm, the muscle is already getting damaged. And more you do it, of course, they eventually you just give up. Yes, but in my case, I learned, through injuries, what to do, what to deal with my arm, and now my routine is almost like don't sit too long in the bullpen, barely, because if the status is throwing more than 20 pitches, 25 in the first inning, start moving around. In the third, start moving around because I can go be long reliever from the fourth to the fifth or seventh. If the sixth inning happen and we winning by a lot, I can be the one to go and close it the last 3 innings and stuff like that. Like be more, be like watch the game and never just settle unless they told me that I'm free. If they say, hey, you're off, I don't touch anything. But beside that, be ready every day. That's the main point.
That's an interesting concept when you say that, you're in, because you, as fans, we were watching the game, then the bullpen guy comes in, and then he's struggling, and the announcers are like, his pitch count's up to 23 pitches, but hey, he threw 50 in the bullpen, so his pitch count is 75. It's not what we're thinking is, and I know the adrenaline is may be different because you're not in a game setting, but you're still in your motion of pitching. So I think people don't realize that, coming out of the bullpen, I would agree with you, is probably like the most tense because you have to be physically ready and fit to be able to withstand all the motion of throwing from the
Yeah,
bullpen to the mound.
yeah. You almost can put it like you doing a sprint the quicker you can, but you just never stop. You just do the sprint faster you can uphill, and all of a sudden you need to walk down right away. So the heart rate stay there. It's like you notice when we just run to the mound, we get there and it's just the we just finally made it there. And like now it's okay. I had like how much time? Okay, 1 minute. You know what? 5 more throws. And sometimes you don't even want to throw them. You just want to breathe. You're like, all right, warm up. You know what? Let's throw 3 more and that's it. Because you're dying already. Like one, you hurry, so your heart rate's high. Then you run to the mound. And when you get to the mound, it's like, okay, now there is I'm not gonna just wait out my body. I have to use my mind too. Now I have to remember what they hate, what I had, what they don't have, what I can use. So you start getting into the stress now from the wear out of body wise. Now you get to the mound and there is just a lot of stress in your mind of what you want to do, what to spend, how afraid you are of giving up the game or fail. So there is so many stuff going on in there that after the first 2 throws, maybe you get the idea back of where your body is. Because before that, you just a crazy throw into home plate. You just wanted to start something.
Yeah.
But so far, like if you create a routine, is the easiest to get a hold of the bullpen stuff. Just get the routine, don't give up on it, and be sure you ask what's your role barely or what the idea about your role. Because for me, I always been the lone reliever, and every time they send me to do 1 inning, I just happy fairly. Like, oh yeah, that was today was easy, 1 inning. That's perfect. I'm fresh tomorrow.
So when you were looking at your career, everything you've done, all the pitching, the mindset from the bullpen to the mound, starting, relieving, you kind of look back on, you've been in 14 seasons in the majors. What stands out to you as a memorable moment? Memorable moment as maybe there's a player that kind of got you to where you're at. There's a coach that kind of led you. An organization that you love to pitch with. I mean, what is something that stands out to you when you kind of look back on those seasons?
Well, always it's just been first the opportunity that Seattle gave me. Even I was little, but I can throw hard. Then Tampa Bay Rays, they helped me to learn how to pitch and know myself. Just create a mix, trust the process, believe in the process. And then the pitching coach, Jim Hickey, was another one that always like talked to me in that time and try to create mixes of what I can be the best, what made me the best. And yeah, through my career, those are been like the biggest helpers. And then he just pitch barely like just adapt to the league, especially with all this kind of crazy stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
They keep adding rules, they keep adding this. They want the baby bombers to hit instead of help the pitchers to pitch.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to see home runs. They don't want to see strikeout, which that's why they take a lot of the Panther stuff because they were complaining. They're too nasty. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, stop being a baby and hit it. So, but that's the scene when they start hitting it, they don't complain about the ball being sticky, huh?
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
But that's the scene. Like lately, it's just been adjustment. Know myself, just bring to the table what I can bring, and just hope the one team is still like the old style, and not just the baby style they run away.
Now we understand that you're the way your wife described it, you're a bit of a national celebrity down in Nicaragua. So tell us a little about that. What's it like when you go back to your country of origin, and you visit? What is there? Have you inspired some more? Maybe helped inspire more kids to pursue a path in baseball in the country. What's that experience like for you?
Well, The reason she said it because well at the end there is like 16. There are like 16 Nicaraguans that made it to the big leagues, starting with
Yeah.
Daniel Martinez being number one, and I was number 11 to make it to
Yeah.
the show. And I'm still active, like so far I have the third, no, I tie second right now with the longest career right now. And going back, it's just when people see me, they see me in this pitching and everything, but they believe I'm a 6'7" or so 6'6" guy, and yeah, I know that number stuff is kicking
Yeah.
everywhere.
Hey, that's our first. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that, but they expect that tall guy, and like, oh my god, I bet he's tall. And then when they see me, it's like, no way, you the MLB pitcher? And yeah, that's me. And then like kids, at least when they see me, it's like it's possible. It's about just have the guts, the heart, train for it. And I've been through so many, how I said, like so many injuries. Thanks God, no surgeries, but at the same time, I lost time in those injuries. And every time I came back, I just work on come back stronger, like show that I train to get myself better. And that's what I help to some of my country, like to realize that it's possible, like it's not out of reach. It's there if you want to, and sometimes you have the talent, but you don't want to really upgrade yourself. You just stuck in I'm good and that's it. When you can be better or be the best, and so far that's what I've been doing. As soon as I reached to the big leagues, then injuries happen. Then I had great teammates. They helped me to find out my way back. And in this case, that's Ernesto Frieri helped me to go back, and then Dinar Span when I was in Seattle, he helped me to find. Oh, yeah, it was Seattle. Yeah, it was Seattle. Yeah, they helped me to find a spot to go train in the off season. But hey, like, bro, you need to pay to get better, not just train for yourself the savage mode. Because I was just like lift hard, run hard, throw hard. That's it. And that's when the nurse pan show up and be like, bro, that's okay. I get it. It work when you jump, but now you're getting older. You need to start knowing your body. You have to understand you need more lifting, less lifting, more walking than running. And that's when he introduced me to Diesel Fitness in Tampa when I was living in there. And they helped me to barely find out how my body connection work, like what I need. And all of a sudden, they told me that to get a stamina, I didn't need to run for an hour. I just needed to train my breathing, train my training, how to work on the sprints, the breathing, like work with the heart watch or something, like hey, don't let it go under 130 and run and get it to 180. Bring it back to 130. Go high, go to the cold plunge, bring your heart rate lower to 130, stuff like that. Like so many stuff that at the first I like, no, I don't know. I didn't have a clue. Like go and check my body about, oh no, your knee is bending too much. Let's fix it. The other one, you had a flat feet. We need to create a little arc on it. That way you get a better stability. So many stuff that they helped me. As soon as I start doing it, I was feeling like almost like a jump back, barely. Finally knowing what to do. The recovery was way better now. Like I was able to throw 2 innings, and the next day they asked me like, "How you feel?" Like fresh? Why? You not sore? I'm supposed to. If I'm not sore, what about just let me be? Just give me the off day. I'm fine. But that's the thing. Like the having knowledge of where you're standing off and what's your routine and everything else. It's been amazing. Like no lie, a game changer.
That's awesome. So basically, your career, like I mentioned earlier, 14 seasons. Aside from that, you become a internet sensation on social media with RheaAnne and your family.
Well, that was thanks to her. She's the one that like I was like, she always talk to me and we're like, yeah, Ray, good, I love your video. Like, What about the actor? I'm the one getting crushed in those videos.
So you guys have been successful with that. That's been awesome to watch and entertain us and everything. Then you have your kids, kind of going through, traveling with your family to the games. 14 seasons is a long time in the major leagues for most ball players. Some guys don't even last that long. But you're 35 years old now. You're kind of like not downhill. Because guys can
It's
total
it,
cologne pitch beyond 40.
yeah.
But if thinking about your career and thinking about everything that you've accomplished, what else is left? What's the next step? What do you need to do to say, hey, I did everything. I got what I needed out of baseball.
Well, no lie. I always everybody want to do the All-Star game postseason. I still missing postseason both anyway. All-Star game, postseasons, rings. That's one of the goals. But at the same time, you need the right team.
Yeah,
which has been a little tough. Even I've been in many teams, it's been a little rough. But as of right now, barely use like be healthy, and have opportunities. And one of my mind is like if my arm don't throw harder than 90 miles per hour. It just that's my body telling me to just call it out and start teaching barely.
mm-hmm.
So for me, I just want to focus on day by day. And if the team keeps giving me opportunities, keep show them what I'm worth, and just show them that I still have on, because last year that injury almost got me out of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks God everything went good and show that I still can do it here in the big leagues and the minors. Like I can still execute and just do that. Like be every year show that I still have it till I done.
Yeah.
Barely till one day that I said, you know what, I don't feel it. Like I had teammates they always like they did normal, they did average, and they're like, bro, I feel like I'm not recovering quick, so I cannot do this no more, and they just retire
Mm-hmm.
because they feel it. You can feel it. So if I get that feeling from my body, I'm like, okay, it's hard to recover, the speed's not there, and nah, you know what? Nah, I'm done. But if everything is good and my arm is still like 1994, still getting numbers going, teams still like interested on me, I would like to go just keep going. And that way, because that's what open the chances for the rest too. Because it was funny because this year, a couple rookies, not rookies, a couple minor leagues kids, they're like, oh, all these veterans should just give the kids the chance to play. And I'm like, yeah, you're talking like that because you know the veteran. You just wait when you're the veteran. When you're the veteran, you want to pitch. No, when I'm the veteran, I'm going to be home. Just wait for when you get there and you realize that the end is close. The end is getting so close that you're going to want to continue pitching, continue hitting, and especially when you're doing good. When you're doing good, you want to stay. Sorry, like your season is bad. I'm doing better than you. Sorry about that. But maybe that's the reason that we're still around. Like we still can find the way to success instead of just depend of, oh, I'm young and talented and the team gonna have patience. And that's the problem right now. They have the talent and they believe that everybody had to deal with their attitude, their way to be, instead of listen and upgrade themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So the game right now, you're changing a lot. They kind of favoring the rookie and letting the veteran be using the waste.
Well, I still think you still got something left. I think we talked off the air that the Mets need pitching. So we're going to put this out there because your numbers are better than what we've probably had all year long. So I hope that, we hope that you get that opportunity to continue as long as you can go. And then, like I said, after that, once the career, you hang it up and you decide that it's time to move on to something else, social media acting is going to be in your cards. So I think you'll be good. With you and RheaAnne, just take over social media because you guys are very
Hey,
tremendous. I
start
enjoy it.
doing the intro. Like,
Yeah.
let's talk about something nobody knew before. I was there. No, but I want to do the pitching coach. I want to
Oh,
teach.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before I retire, I'm gonna talk with the teens and be like, hey, I want to teach the kids how they always not just stats. Stats can help you, and that's the start, and that's the crazy part. They have so much information, even in the minors. You can go through the whole information, but they stuck into the same pattern, always in the same way. Like, okay, they telling me to throw a slider. Why? It giving you idea of how to pitch. No, pitch like this. It just telling you, hey, your slide is sharp. You should use it more. Doesn't mean you're gonna throw 13 sliders and one fastball. You just have to find a way to use it. And I definitely just one of my goals, if after retired and everything, just become that. Just go teach and show the guys that like information can be good, at the same time can be a big damage too if you don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
Because it's so much information now that you just have to sometimes put it aside and sometimes use it. No, all the time, just depend on it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I think you'll be a great pitching coach. I think your knowledge of the game from you started so young to where you're at now, all the things you've gone through, the adversity, just battling through becoming a starter, reliever, starter, different teams. I think that knowledge, a lot of the young kids, they need that. They need someone to kind of guide them, and just the same way you were guided along your way. I
Yep.
think you have the tools to guide the next player. I hope you pitch for the next 5 years. I hope you get your service. I hope you get everything that you can get out of baseball, and then that's when it'll be your time to give back. And then maybe you
Yeah.
go to Nicaragua and you could be on the national team at like Batogo alone and pitching at 45 and keep going.
Yeah. So far, I keep telling my wife that I want to go to 45 because Rich Hill just reached a 45. I want to reach there. Yeah, but so far, let's see. Let's see. Every day, every year, gonna be those a challenge. And how I say, just be healthy. Be healthy is the most important right now. I know being healthy, I can fight back, but when I get injured, I get stranded. I cannot do anything.
No doubt. No doubt. Well, Erasmo, we couldn't be happier hearing your story and everything that your whole journey that we often, really don't get to hear some of those intricacies of how you came up through the ranks. We know a lot, how American baseball players do it, and everybody's got their unique story. Um, but it's interesting to hear from a an international player and what that process looks like up close. So we really appreciate that you coming on to tell that tale. And we definitely hope that we're going to be seeing you pitching here for a few more years, and appreciate what your family's doing to support you in the game. And now we've rounded it out with both you and your wife as guests on our program. So you're officially like a Legends on Deck family. Um,
Thank
not
you.
just not just a regular guest, but we've got the whole family involved. So um, thank you for joining us today, and we're gonna look forward to seeing what you're doing next season.
Me too. I'm excited. No lie. No excited. I'm already working on how to show up healthy, get like fix what I didn't do the off season last year, do it this year, and hey, you play fantasy team, just don't forget to add me in there. Gonna be amazing.
Exactly. Well,
Got
Brian,
it.
this is another
Sure.
great episode of Legends on Deck. We keep moving forward after 100. It just keep the next guest just keeps getting better. So we just appreciate everyone that's following and watching. Please press subscribe so you won't miss any new episodes coming out on YouTube and all our social media pages. But thank you so much for coming on, Erasmo. And once again,
Thank
this is
you.
Legends on Deck podcast. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.